And we are live. Check, check. Looks like the mic is okay. How's everybody doing? Thanks for dropping by. There are a lot of things to discuss today. I suspect that the major thing... Got a frog in my throat. I suspect that the major thing people want to talk about today are the rebellion conflicts. But there was a lot of other juicy tidbits of information that came out of this week's this week's town hall. So we'll be digging into that. Another big item today is the fact that the olive trees go on sale on dCrops if you happen to be interested in that. And that happens at 12:30 Eastern time, which is right at the end of this. So if you're interested in that, you should have your DEC ready to go. So that when you log into dCrops, you can go ahead and buy your trees if you happen to be interested in that. Let's see here. Gathering says, good morning. Everybody got their rebellion cards ready to board the Mage Wagon. Is Mage Wagon the new hype train? Yeah, I think we both did videos on this past week. Mine just went last night because I wanted another day to kind of absorb all the information and everything. It's a big topic and it's interesting, so I'm sure we will discuss that. I'm sure a lot of people will be interested in it. To what extent we all get into it? Obviously, it's dependent upon your budget and how you look at, I guess, or how you value the airdrop cards. So we can get into that as well. Supreme Victory Studios is in the house. Thanks for dropping by. It sounds fun. Need to see the numbers. Yeah, Gathering did a good video day before last on the exact numbers. I did a video last night. I didn't go as in-depth as he did, but I did a practical example of the way I'm going to be approaching it. So Gathering says about 28,000 CP gets you a guaranteed airdrop. I really want to know about the removal of leagues. No more bronze, silver, gold. Yeah, that was one of the other juicy topics that they started talking about, which really got my wheels spinning because he has a very valid point. Okay, so here's the point. Well, I guess overall they want to sell more cards, right? But the point is that people get into a groove. They get into the league they want to play. And I'm guilty of this for sure as well. But it's the way they set up the game, right? So I'm in gold. I play my primary accounts in gold. So I got my summoners up to level 6. It took me a while. My rare summoners up to level 6. My epic summoners at level 3. Your standard leveling. But once you get to that point, what you have to do is you have to step back and you have to examine your budget and what you want to spend. Okay, so previously to the big changeover in how SPS staking determined what you got out of that, and before they banned bots in Modern, I was playing in Modern, or Archmage was playing my account in Modern, which... really is a gold level account, but it was up playing it into diamond. Okay, so whenever I changed over to wild, now I limited it to gold due to my staking amount, which my staking amount has went up, right? But I still am limited by the level of my summoners, basically. Okay, so when you consider, okay, he's got gold level 6 summoners, if I crossed over into diamond, I wouldn't be winning that much, right? So I guess the overall point was that removing the league barriers would let you take advantage of slightly up-leveling your cards a little bit at a time. And there's a lot to this whole argument, right? But I, as a gold level player, stopped leveling most of my cards a while ago. Now, with that said, I did make a significant set of purchases this week, which is the most I've paid in play cards, meaning cards not for land, in quite a while. And we'll talk about that in a bit. But it was very interesting that he started talking about removing the leagues. But I think it's all about getting people to spend more on cards, buy more cards, etc. So, okay, let's see here. Gathering says, so... if I have max level cards, I could fight bronze level players if my rating is say 500. If there are no more leaderboards, that would be great. No more DEC printed for that. Helps the flywheel. Well, I cannot speak with. I don't have much of a viewpoint on the leaderboards because, frankly, I've never competed on the leaderboards. I do hear lots of people talk about the leaderboards as they are being somewhat exploited. I don't know. I can't really make a comment on that. I do hear a large portion of people saying that that system needs to be revamped, and that's on, the long list of things that they want to do, right? But I can't really make an opinion either way. It does sound from the way he was talking in the meeting that they don't just have small changes in mind. They have large changes in mind. In other words, changes that are going to affect the way the game's been played since its inception. So, I mean, I just got to kind of rely upon these guys. I mean, they're doing this for a living, right? And I assume that they want to do the best for the game they're putting out. It's their baby, right? Yeah, I've got money invested in it, and I would like to see it go with the best, but they've literally got their lives invested in this. So I'm assuming that the big picture that they have for these changes is going to be a good, and it's hard for me. I'm kind of a pessimist. You've seen my videos. I kind of look at the glass half empty kind of thing. But I got to assume that they're trying to do the best for the game. So with those kind of big, illustrious gameplay changes, I'm just hoping for the best, right? So let's see here. Alex T agrees with Gathering. Gathering Magic says, and will your rating reset at the end of the season, or will your rating stay where it is? Well, I'm sure one of the things they prefaced this conversation this week was everything is set to change, right? They were just throwing a lot of ideas at us, and they went at the beginning of the show. Or before they started talking about it was about midway through the show. But they specifically said, don't hold us to it because all this is set to change. They just have these large ideas on basically what's wrong with the game and what needs to change, and starting to form ideas of the way to make things better. That's the best way I can put it, right? So just got to hope for the best. But as a person, if you don't like the way things are headed, you've got to make your own financial decisions, especially people. There's a lot of people that have a lot more invested than I do, right? So, okay, let's see here. My financial journey's in the house. Welcome to the show. Thanks for dropping by. All that Matt and the team has ever done is try to get players to spend more money to stay where they are currently playing. That's a valid point. At the root of it, I've got to say this. At the root of it, that's their job. They're trying to get us to spend more money, okay? And that's fine. That's what a business is about. A business is about trying to get people to spend money on your product. In this case, the cards are the product, right? How do they make money? Well, they make money in several different ways, but the majority is, hey, buy our cards, right? And if I had to say, I do agree that as time's gone along, it's costing me more to make the same or less, and there's something to be said that, in the past, how the game was working would not extrapolate, and in other words, the game would fail if changes were not made. Okay, so there's some argument to that as well. So it's a lot to wrap our heads around, but it's a valid point. Gathering says, it really makes me rethink my $10 account. I was thinking I needed to max my deck out to bronze first. I guess I level my summoners as high as I can first now. Well, I've already said, it's been a while since I've made true gameplay videos, but when I make a video and I'm talking to new players, I think your first investment, quote unquote, investment in the game, and this applies to any game, right? When you first get into another game and you like the game, you're going to start asking people who've been playing for a while, what's the best use of money to get myself a strong foundation in this game, right? just so happens in Splinterlands, and I'll hold this card as long as I'm playing until something changes, is the best first use of your money is to buy some good summoners. Buy your level up summoners, and from what I've learned, I didn't do this when I first started out, but your best use of money is still to figure out what rank you want to fight in, bronze, silver, gold, whatever, and buy the max level summoners for that rank, or for that league rather. But I guess that if and when things change, we'll have to re-examine that statement. Some changes I made this week for my secondary account, for my silver account. They've been playing for a long time with gold foil level 3 summoners, okay, in silver, not maxed out. Doing pretty well. I make 25 or 30, between 25 and 35 silver chests a season. Now, with the price of cards kind of being in a depression, I saw that as a use case for me to go ahead and increase my gold foil summoners to level 4, which would be max for silver level. Okay. Now changes happen. Who knows? I also scored a couple deals on some gold foil summoners for my main account, which would be level 6. I do think some people are selling off or trading around their assets. In other words, selling some things off to buy some of the new cards. Who knows, right? But I did pick up a couple level 6. I picked up a level 6 gold foil Kelia and level 6 gold foil Obsidian just to add to my main account. The way I figure it is at these prices, and I was talking to my brother in text, because we've been looking at these prices all along. I think we all have. But, a year and a half ago, level 6 gold foil Kelia was well over $100, right? I scored one for, it was like $42 or $43 yesterday. I think that there was one person this week that just went in and sold off a bunch of gold foil summoners. That's what I think at level 6. But if I got yours, thanks for selling it. Who knows? Who knows about prices? But my main point there is I'm increasing my levels of my summoners and changing them over to gold foil. Do I think I'm going to go above that? No, because my main point here is even if things change around, we'll be interested to see how they change around. The reason why I didn't step up to like a level 8 summoners to go into the next league is the fact that it's not necessarily the price of the summoners. Yeah, that is one decent expense from going from level 6 to 8, but all the periphery expense, because once you level your summoners, you have to level your other cards. And the way I do it is I level my summoners first, and then I level my most used cards and the ones I can get the most bang for the buck out of first, right? And when you consider going from gold to diamond, that's a huge expense. And I've got a video coming out this next week that compares what I'm making on a daily basis out of Splinterlands versus other games on the Hive blockchain. And, I know people are going to poo-poo me. It's the future. That's what you got to look at. Yeah, I would love to see it do great in the future, but I would still like to see, some decent returns. So, okay, that's a lot. I know I might have went off on a tangent there, but okay, let's catch up with chat. Let's see. Gathering says, give me more summoners and reward chests. Yeah, RNG. I'm terrible on RNG. I guess my chests lately have not been terrible. They've been better than average, but in other games, my RNG is terrible. Let's see here. Alex T says, probably going to be better to focus on a splinter. Paul Taylor's in the house. Thanks for dropping by. Let's see here. I have trouble focusing so much I want to do in the game. Yeah, well, that's another thing. Another thing, especially, I don't know about you, or anybody else that does videos, is when you sit down to make a video and you have to pick a topic of what to do, it's the same kind of thing. You go into the game, there's so many different areas where you can actually spend money that you have to step back and you have to say, wow, what's going to be the best use of my money? And I keep reiterating that, but to me, it's it's important, right? So Alex T. Splinter says, Splinter or 2 or 3? Yeah. Daddy Boy's here. Thanks for dropping by. Gathering says, were you surprised land wasn't mentioned in the town hall? Glad the focus is on the player experience, but surprised by lack of land news. I think that I think starting off the new year they did it right, okay? Because the whole last couple months of the year was all land, okay? And people that don't necessarily aren't necessarily in the land game kind of got bored of all the land talk. That's my take on it. So I'm in land, and I like the land talk, but I can see from just a Splinterlands card playing point of view, if you're a player that just on that side, you want to hear all the good news. You know, what's going to happen with the game this year. And obviously, as we go along, we'll hear more about where 1.6, and they did talk about how they're focusing on the just blew my mind, the grain pool, the grain liquidity pool, to get that up and running. Obviously, that's a main thing, and that will help everybody out with buying and selling grain. So, but other than that, all the other talk about where the game is going this year, and obviously the main focus was on the conflicts. So if anybody wants to talk about those, I think all the information about the conflicts was pretty straightforward. I do think that I noticed that, let me refresh Splinter cards here. I noticed that, and I'm trying not to look at the SPS ticker going down, but I noticed that vouchers over the last day or two have really went up. So I think that if you're going to be buying a few battle wagons or mage wagons, I guess they're called now, go ahead and get your vouchers if you don't have them, because it's cheaper than using DEC or credits, right? So I think it's pretty straightforward. Both Gathering and myself did the math on separate videos. Just to be honest, I think, my take on it is going to be that I'm going to stake the packs that I have, and I'm going to buy, going along with what I've been talking about, I'm going to buy some summoners. I'm going to buy some of the newer summoners at proper level for gold, and then I'm just going to stake them and start using them on my account, right? I'm not going to go overboard. I'm not going to buy multiple wagons. It is what it is. It's a different way, and it does encourage people to keep, buy and hold assets, which is a good change to the way things previously were. Let's just face it. During Chaos Legion, that whole system was busted, right? So I'm going to buy what I'm going to buy and stake it and just go with it. I will not even end up with one for sure card. I only worked out my math to make like 60. You need 200 chances. I was struggling to remember what they call them. 200 chances to for sure get a card. I'll end up with like 60. So once in a while I might get a card. Who knows? But to me, doing the math and paying for, and we're just talking about one BCX. You're talking about, I don't even know. To me, whenever I did my numbers, it was well over $1,000, $2,000 just to get one for sure card to stake all that, right? That's fine if that's worth it to you. But think about this. If you're playing in gold or diamond, one BCX card is not going to do anything for you. Could you turn around and sell it and make a little bit of a profit? Probably, because once these cards first hit the market, they're going to fetch a premium, as they always do. I imagine this dragon, which does look like a cool card. Yeah, I'm not on the right page here, but you all have seen the picture of the new airdrop card. He's a big dragon. Love dragons, as you know. And he would fit into the higher mana game, obviously. But a 1 BCX card, unless you're in bronze, is not going to really do you any good. Now, could you turn around and sell it for it'll probably start out at, $25 or $30. It may go up from there. But once people start getting them in packs and everything, then the price might generally goes down a little bit. Obviously, depending upon how well it plays out, if it fits into the meta and people start using and abusing it, price might go up $50. Who knows? But my main point is that if I decide I want that card down the road, I'd rather just buy it to level to what I need versus staking all that. Let's catch up. Love gold foil summoners. I need to load up on those cheap gold foil rare chaos ones. Yeah, I think that at this point, you really, before the card burning, everyone needs to really consider where they are at in their collection. And if you really wanted to add a few gold foil cards to your collection, now's the time to do it. I'm not a train jumper or a wagon jumper, and I'm not trying to push FOMO, right? But I do think that some of the big whales will participate in the burning event, and they will look at the value of gold foils, especially the value, the points they're going to get out of the gold foils for the money spent, and it will be a good value for them to buy the gold foils and burn them. So we'll see how that goes, but that's what I'm doing. And like I said, I leveled several of my silver level from 3 to 4 this week, and I also got 2 level 6 gold foil summoners this week. So I am still looking for deals, but I've spent more money on cards this week than I have in a long time for play. Okay. Alex T says, land is just sync. Making the actual card game is priority is a better move. Well, it's clear. It's clear that, and I've said this for 2 years, I got poo-pooed a lot for it, but it's clear that they need to work on the new player experience, and they need to revamp the game in a way that attracts people and attracts people in that aren't necessarily in the Web3 space, right? I'll give you a good example, okay? I'm just playing around with this game. It's called League of Kingdoms, okay? So this is not on Hive, but it's on a side blockchain of Ethereum, which I don't necessarily like using Ethereum. However, I started playing this game because you can start playing this game and not even use the Web3 part of it, right? And it's wildly popular because it's easy to get into, and then you decide whether you want to spend money on the Web3 part. That's my kind of take on this. You have to be able to get non-Web3 people in on the game to be able to have it grow. And my take is also, at this point in time, you also need a mobile client, and you need that mobile client to work smoothly. I know they don't have the people to work on it. I'm just speaking from perspective, the guy from myself, who I watch a lot of video game videos, and I've got my hands into a lot of games, Web 2 and Web 3, and mobile games are wildly popular. People spend hundreds, thousands of dollars on these games just for useless skins, skins that make their character look this way or that way. That's the people we want to attract to the game. People that are going to throw down. Look at all the stuff that, I'm sorry I'm going off, but look at all the stuff that Nate was talking about. Very creative guy, right? He's right in an aspect. A lot of people poo-pooed him. They're just interested in stuff that's going to make him more money. That's fine. But he's interested in the part of the game that's going to attract more people to the game. Storyline, art, this kind of thing. A lot of people that are currently in the game are just necessarily worried about, how much money they're making. And I'm partially guilty of that. But I also do like a good storyline. It's just hard to recover from a game that's been going for several years and not really had that. Now, going along from Chaos Legion forward, they've really put a lot of work into it, right? And going forward, I do see that's a main part of the game to bring in, to be part of the new user experience, to get people to come in and buy cards. But we need to get that new user experience worked on. And I would say they need to get a mobile client that works good, because you get all the mobile users in on it. That's a lot of money. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox there. Yeah, thanks, Daddy Boy, for dropping by. Let's see here. Gathering agrees. Love the voucher SPS spread now. We were on par a few weeks ago and swapped SPS for vouchers. Now swapped some vouchers for 1.6 times SPS. Well, I'm glad that vouchers are having a little bit of a day now. Hive, I just happened to look at Hive, just took a dump. Wow, look at that. I don't have any information on why that would happen. SPS has been steadily going down for some reason. Like I said, I'm not the kind of guy that sits here and watches this. I do check it on a daily basis. DEC is kind of holding its own, but it's down from where it was. Like I said, I was hoping that the almost said fig tree, but the olive tree sale in dCrops, which will be happening in approximately 35 minutes, would have somewhat of an effect on DEC. I know I bought 100,000 DEC to buy my 4 trees, but we'll see how that goes. Let's see here. Alex T says, you ever think about renting your deck, then building a new deck from the earnings? I did a lot of renting back in the day, and that's more than a year ago, when you can actually make a decent amount off your deck. There was a point in time where I stopped playing. I rented everything I had out for, roughly a 2-month period. And I kind of felt bad because I had to rent cards for myself to use when I played my guild brawls, and some guild brawls I missed. So I largely, as the rentals went down, I went back to just having my accounts played. And then I was able to use all my cards to play the guild brawls because I like, keeping my end of the bargain up with my guild and doing that. But right now, I have some cards I have a third account that is just used for rental cards, right? And I make very little off of that. So I've got to feel that, my take is that rentals will go up, okay? As the changes they're putting into the game now currently, and all these sinks, land and battle, mage wagons, I keep wanting to call them battle wagons, but the mage wagons are going to soak up a lot of cards between the mage wagons and land. And the burning event is going to have another effect on that. So why am I talking about this? Mainly because I feel like that's going to force rentals up. Now, are they going to go back up to where they were? Probably not. But I would be glad if they, multiplied by 2 or 3 times, because right now I'm making very little. And by very little, I have like 20 cards I'm renting out. Not all at one time, but I might make 15 or 20 DEC a day. Very minimal. In fact, I have that account just like on auto. I very rarely go over and check it, so. Let's see. Gathering says, if you want a guaranteed max airdrop, you're looking at 300K CP staked on wagons. Good luck. Yeah, it's expensive. It's quite expensive. And I hate to do videos where I try to be upbeat, right? I try to be upbeat. There's certain people that do videos, everything's upbeat. Everything's pie in the sky and, sunshine and roses. And I try to not be the guy that's always doom and gloom, right? So I try to pick out the good things. So my take on that strategy was, or on that on the wagons is, I'm just going in with my strategy. Is it going to get me a guaranteed card? No, it's not. I've never had a guaranteed card. I've never spent enough money on packs, etc., to get a guaranteed card. And once again, 1 BCX of a card is really going to do me no good. I mean, I guess I could put it on my secondary silver account and it might be helpful, right? But it really comes down to it. If you see that, if the card comes out and it turns out to be a good playing card, worthwhile, then you're going to want to have a card that, if you're playing gold, you're going to want to have it level 3, because it's a legendary, right? I think it's a legendary. And that's going to take multiple BCX. It's going to be expensive, but it's still going to be cheaper than buying tons of packs and thousands of dollars worth of cards to stake, right? Yeah. So I know I'll get poo-pooed on, but that's the way I feel. Supreme Victory Studios says, yikes, pass. Alex B is in the house. Thanks for dropping by. Wagons are not worth it. Alex T says, it would be for people that have a high-level cards that they use to play. Yeah, like I said, like I'm going into it, I'm just going to take and buy a few cards from the new expansion that I'm going to use, namely Summoners, because that's where I start out with my cards, and just stake those and just use them on my... I'm not buying, in other words, I'm not buying cards specifically for staking on battle wagons. You know, I do like that point, that they let them be used, right? Just trying to see where I am in chat. My Financial Journey says, I bought a Darg earlier this week. That's the only Rebellion card I own. I'm not familiar with Darg. I have heard that it's a good one. I'm just not familiar with the use case. I have not bought any cards yet, though, so I will have to do that. Any alpha pickups lately or other key cards you have been eyeing up? I largely stopped buying alphas due to the fact that I got into the legendaries and they were just too expensive. The last, let's clear here. The last alpha I bought was a promo, and I believe it was, I believe I have Dragon Whelp and Neb Seni. I have these two promos from Alpha, but as far as the core set, I have all of them up till, let's see here. I do have, no, I cut off at the legendaries because they were just too expensive for me. But I do have all the epics in my collection at this point, so that's where that stands. I do like, and I had toyed around with the idea of, you know, I've been watching your videos about the value of betas and everything, and I do have some betas in my collection that I like using. So I'd been toying around with the idea on starting on betas, but whenever I go into beta, actually buy levels that will be playworthy for myself. So we'll see how that goes. But then I got off on the gold foil tangent, so let's see. Let's look at... let's reset and go to Summoners and Gold Foil. Okay, so this is how my account stands now. You can see that I did buy the level 6 Kelia and the level 6 Obsidian Gold Foil, which we were talking about. I've been thinking about picking up a Thaddeus as well. And possibly General Sloan. Don't use, the bot does not use General Sloan all that much on my account. To be frank, usually when it plays white, I have, usually when my account plays white, my strong card is going to be Grandmaster Wraith, okay? As you can see, I do have quicks, but I'm pretty shy on the others. I've also been thinking about filling in my stable of the other legendaries, such as Conqueror, Jasik, Possibilis, and what's the other one? The little panda bear. I can't remember the name. But I have been thinking about filling those in too. But once again, it's all money and the cards at a very good price now, right? And I'm not arguing that. But after I start spending $100, I got to check myself, right? Everybody's pocketbook is different, so everybody has a different financial journey, right? My financial journey. Vilson's in the house. Welcome. Thanks for dropping by. We're talking about Magic, and we can talk about other things if everybody wants to talk about. We're sneaking up on the dCrops sale. Who else is going to buy olive trees? I'm buying. I'll be out buying 4 olive trees. I do have the link. If you haven't started a dCrops account and you want to log in for the first time, please use the link in the show notes to get me a couple extra points here. But basically, if you log in, you log in with your Hive account, and then it will be on the shop portion. They're going to trade in here, and there will be a section here to buy the olive tree if you're interested. So let's see here. Alex T says, overall, the market is down. Yeah, the crypto market. I've been keeping an eye on that. It's kind of weird because we're sneaking up on the halving of Bitcoin. So I thought it would go up, but who knows? I've learned a long time ago that, like, me and my brother had a running joke line that anything we decided to do in Splinterlands always turned out to be the wrong thing to invest in. So I'm not the guy to listen to for investment advice. So. Anybody miss Argo now? Not familiar with that. We wouldn't be here anymore if he was still steering the ship. Yeah. Oh, I know. I don't know. It's kind of a wide discussion point there. Look at GLX. All the evidence you need. Is that good or bad, GLX? It's going to have to speak for itself. I haven't checked it lately. Is it going up or down? I would like him to start having like a town hall on what he's doing. That would be very interesting to me, because I think, and I've said this, I think that his ideas in that portion of what he's going to get, have control of as far as the company is, as far as using what they've laid down as a service, has a lot of possibilities, and possibly larger than Splinterlands could ever be. So I'm very interested to hear from him. I just haven't heard, has he had like a town hall type event since the big change? I haven't heard any information. I would like to sit in on one of those though. Spring Victory Studio says it would be nice if the team threw the loyal 3+ player base a bone. Yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice, but I've kind of gotten used to everything, every piece of news that comes out about the game equals me having to spend more money. And I understand from business side that's what they have to do, but you're right. It would be nice to have something nice, a promo card or something or other for people to have stuck around and spent a lot of money. And it goes back to the argument of you can only wring so much blood from a stone, right? Or they said you can't wring blood from a stone. In this case, there's only so much money you can wring from a small player base, right? You need to increase the size of that player base. And like going back to what I was talking about before, making certain changes will help that out, and we're on the conflicts page here just for something to look at. But I do think going mobile is the way to go. Obviously, they don't have the team size to do that. But if you get on mobile, you've just vastly increased the size of your player base, especially if you're also working on the new user experience, getting people in. The things he did list in the meeting this week sounded enticing, as far as when you're a new user, you automatically get 100 SPS staked in your name for a month. It's a good idea. Then it goes off, right? So these little ideas will help, I think. So, and I think one of the main hurdles is making the game easier to learn for new players, because I think it generally has gotten easier over the years, but it's not a pick up and play game. It's if you're not used to Web3 stuff, it's kind of hard to explain to people, right? So there's a lot of hurdles, and I can understand on their side. There's a lot to making a game that's relatively fun to play, and trying to make that game a collectible game where people want to invest in multiple copies of cards. And then on the other side of the fence, making it so that it can't, the whole financial part of it can't be abused. It's a lot for a small team. And I'm not arguing that. It's just I'm trying to argue for the best possible product, right? So. Gathering says GLX needs a good game, not soccer. Get a basketball, football, or baseball game tied with a pro team, then watch out. From a U.S. perspective, I would agree with that. I'm surprised that on a worldwide, I think they made the decision. This is just my opinion. I have no facts. I don't know any insider information, right? But from my perspective, I saw that they made that change because obviously you don't want to have to pay the price that it would take to get an NBA or an NFL license, right? Whatever that is, right? The licensing that goes along with that. And worldwide, from a worldwide perspective, there's a lot more people in the world that are interested in soccer slash football than American football and American baseball and American basketball. Now, if you're saying what would sell well here in the United States, you're definitely right. But outside of the United States, there's a big world out there. And I would think that, once again, I think the game, I've not played the game. I've watched some gameplay videos from other YouTubers that have been in on the alpha. And generally speaking, I think everybody agrees that the game's not altogether too fun. So I think the game needs to be worked on. And once again, they need to have, I think you need to have a mobile client at this time, you know. I'm for regular work, I'm in the software space, and even our company, you know, years and years ago saw that, and we're not even in games or anything, but we saw that you needed to have a product usable on mobile to be to expand and make it in this world today. And are there still lots of things that are PC or, you know, Mac only? Yes, but as far as games go, I think you need a mobile client, whether we're talking the soccer game or whether we're talking Splinterlands. So you can call me out on it if you think I'm wrong. Give me some facts. Give me your opinion why you think I'm wrong. But I think I'm right. So, and Wibble's in the house with a Wii. Welcome, Wibble. Let's see, whatever. Alex B says, I got an alpha for, I think, like 40 cents. Yeah, Lily is the right name I was searching for. You know, I rented a Lily for a while, and in Wild, the bot just didn't use it that often, so I didn't end up buying her. But I'm definitely looking at buying a copy of those as the prices are kind of depressed. Paul Taylor says, is your DEC on Hive engine? It is. If you are wanting to get some of the olive trees immediately after this show is over, because the olive tree sale goes live at 12:30 Eastern time, you need to have your DEC on Hive engine, because that's where it's going to pull it from. dCrops is going to pull it from. So you need to have 25,000 DEC for each tree you want, and then in dCrops it will be under the shop. It'll be on this page when they update it, and then it'll pull directly from your Hive engine account. Okay, let's see here. Gathering says, funds are low, picked up 2 rare plots in 43 yesterday, so happy. My region is growing nicely, but now I need more cards. I've been still looking. Lately, I have not seen, I didn't look this morning, but I have not seen plots that tempted me in the regions I'm in. I'm just, you know, taking a look. You know, $90 for a rare is not necessarily bad, I guess, but it's not enough to really tempt me, right? I'm going over to 133. Very few plots in 133 for sale. And there's a 59 for a common. Kind of tempting, but at this point, I think that if I buy any more, they'll be, you know, I don't know. I don't think jungle. I think jungle produces wood. I would have to reference the field, the page on that. But I think from here, what I would want to do is buy maybe an extra plot or 2 that can produce food. And we've all been talking about that, but I still have to make a video on, you know, what my land plots are going to be doing and take an initial look at that. I thought about buying a few trees just because. I'll tell you what, everybody over on, there's a lot of people hyped on the dCrops side. Obviously, they're primary dCrops players. There was one guy in chat that was getting ready to buy 40 trees, you know, extrapolate that out. That's why I was kind of looking at what DEC was doing, seeing if what it was doing. It is on an upward trend a little bit, but it has been depressed this week. Alex BC says, no dCrops, been around a while, would lose it trying to play it now. Supreme Victory Studio says, grinding Immortal Creed, shooting for the leaderboard to see what the rewards are. Yeah, I've been playing Immortal Creed. I've been playing, keeping up with that. In fact, this is the last screen, won a match. I need 3 more matches for today. If you're not familiar, you can earn on the first 10 wins of each day, and that resets at 8 Eastern time each night. I'm in Silver League, just barely. I've only got 1 silver level immortal. I still need to make a video on this after. I wanted to kind of wait until the end of the season to give my take on, what I made and everything, because the prior season I was only like in it for 2 or 3 days. At this point in silver, I have bought about 50 or 60 packs. And like I said, I only have 1 silver level immortal. But I'm just hanging in there and doing silver level matches, and sometimes it's rough because I go through a spat of like 10 losses in a row. But I am making basically a pack a day, or if you were pulling that out, roughly $1.50 a day to $2 somewhere in there, depending upon what that is Valor is selling for on a day-to-day basis. So it's not, it's earning. It's just I am putting everything back into cards to try and level things up. So let's see here. Let's go back to Splinterlands. That was a little bit of a sidetrack, but yeah, I'm enjoying that too. The market goes up a year after halving, allegedly. Yeah, we'll see. I was around when Bitcoin halved last time too. I wasn't playing Splinterlands or anything. At that point, I was still like mining Ethereum and stuff on video cards. Not doing that anymore. But how is 100 staked SPS a good idea? Shouldn't someone just buy $2.50 worth of SPS? Aren't we trying to encourage people to buy assets? Can't afford another $3 for SPS. Don't bother starting. I think the whole idea was to get people started. I think that after a person gets in and they start playing a few days and start understanding, that's another one of those things that is might take a few days for a normal person, or I say normal, a person that is a Web 2 player getting into a Web 3 game to understand. They immediately start playing and they're not earning anything. Then they're immediately turned off. They're like, oh, what's going on here? Whereas if they start earning and then over the course of that month understand that what they earn is dependent upon what they have staked, then they catch on and start staking some. At least I think that's the idea, right? So KGM Jams in the house. Thanks for dropping by. Changed my strategy again, as in many days. All these good games to play, but have to have too much on my plate already. I can fully understand, and sometimes, some days, some games slip. But yeah, you can see my tabs. I've got tons of games I'm playing. I can agree with you. VT Mag Gurus in the house. Thanks for dropping by. I am buying 1 olive tree today. I believe I'm buying 4. And I'm just recently got into the game. So I don't know how much I'm going to play dCrops, but I do know that from the way they're talking, and if you look at the market over there, the value of trees is pretty high, because when you consider that if you go over here and you look at, and I'm not pushing, I'm not making anything off of this. If you do want to start playing, please use my link, though. It gives me a little bit as usual. But if you look at the regular trees, you're talking 210 Hive, 298 Hive, 200 Hive, 200 Hive, 300 Hive for a Christmas tree, right? And even if you bought a seed and owned a seed and raised a seed, the seeds are basically half price, but you still have to buy a legendary plot to grow that. Now, overall, I think people on their board said that if you wanted to get like an orchard going, your best use of money would be to buy a high-tech plot and just start growing seeds, obviously. But I'm just trying to show the value of what that olive tree is going to be, So for $25, much less than what one of the normal trees is right now. Okay, so let's catch back up. We're coming towards the end of the show. Let's see here. Gathering says he loves the KGM Jam shows. Love the daily videos. I agree. I've been catching up with KGM's daily shows, and he's been going over what he's been doing in Golem Overlord, which is largely what I also play. Look, I just got hit I am ready to go ahead and might as well go ahead and do it. I've got 3. I try to keep it an even 20, so I've got 3 attacks I can do. If you're not familiar with this is Golem Overlord, so I'm going to do 3 attacks. Like in his game, he's trying to keep things averaged out. I am too. I'm pretty much at 123. I need to raise my faith. And since all the quests have come about, I've started keeping a backlog of some part. So in case I needed some part to use, then I could go ahead and do that. But we could go ahead and do this. I have 3 attacks to use. So I will do... I usually do a spread of 10. When I'm searching for people to attack, I usually do a spread of 10, and then I sort by stash. I can't attack him. Let's go ahead and do my attacks. Get this out of the way quickly. Like I said, nothing personal. I just sort and go with the people with the highest stash. I won all 3 of those, won roughly 40, 50, 60, 70, almost 80, and do my collect. And then I also try to keep my reputation maxed out at 50, which is your max per hour. As you can see, I just recently, earlier this week, I prestiged up to 16, and I try to keep my scavenger golems at 1800. But I'll do that after the show, and we can get back to the show. But that roughly shows you where we're at. We are full in the guild. We do need some more benches going on, but we're working on bunker level 7. After we make 7 and work to 8, we will pick up an extra percentage point of what you get whenever you pull it in. So anyway, that's the Golem Overlord note. Let's see. Alex T says you're definitely right. You need a mobile version of the game. There's so many people in the world that play games that don't have access to a PC or Mac, right? And there's multiple games. I mean, there's a game I play with my brother. I got to pick up my phone to look at it. It's called it's wildly popular. Why am I not seeing it? It's called Clash of Clans. It's just a game that's been going on for years. We've been playing. People dump loads of money into that game. I don't put money into it, but I play in his clan, and we're a low-level clan. We have fun with it. But there's people that play that from all around the world and dump loads of money into that, you know. And if these games we're playing made it to there, I'm sure there's all kinds of laws about the money usage, and you know the laws surrounding buying and selling crypto and everything. But if they could overcome that, I think that's one of the hurdles they need to work on. Vilson says, I don't think I'll buy any since I forget to monitor them. Good call. Everybody's got to make their own choices. The olive trees, he did change. They will yield 3 a day instead of 2, and they will be immediately able to be used. We're in the fall season currently in the game. Usually it's just a spring tree, so he did make that change because some people were complaining about it. So it will be able to be used in this fall season, the winter season, and then the spring season. And after that, it will be a spring season only tree. So it will be able to be used in 2 extra seasons this time around and get you a little bit of extra, right? And the nice thing is that you can harvest every day off of it once a day instead of the usual crops, which let me jump over here. I can show you what I have planted now, just to get my feet wet in the game. So I have 3 rare plots, and I have some chili peppers, and I have some garlic. And this garlic I mainly bought and planted because it was one of my quests. And the quests are one of those things you want to try to do because they net NFTs for you, more recipes and seeds and stuff. So. Gathering says the jungle does wood. Yeah, I thought that was right. Alex T says not 40 trees, LOL. International Travel Channel's in the house. Guten Tag. Vilson says, did you make bank with ETH? I've got some on a cold wallet, and I won't say I'm rich. I've got a decent amount, but it's just extra. I had mined it, and it's just sitting on a cold wallet. So whenever it does what it does in the future, down the road, I might sell it off and make a little bit, but I would not say I'm rich, no. Alex T says, I have 100 ETH in a wallet. I forgot the password. Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. I use a cold wallet. In fact, I have two nano ledgers, Nano Ledger X and S that I both have, and I have the passwords and codes and phrases and everything, several different locations in fireboxes and such. My financial journey says, I think the solution is that providing better tutorials and introduction to the game rather than allowing people to earn without needing to invest a single penny beyond the spellbook. I mean, it's a valid point, right? It's a valid point. I don't think necessarily that they will be making too much with 100 SPS staked, but I mean, it's a valid point. Gathering says 25 people watching. Smash that like button. Yeah, I forget to do that in my videos sometimes, but please leave a like and subscribe. And if you have other friends or that are interested in Web3 games, please tell them to come on over and stop by. I do appreciate it. Let's see here. Gabriel Jimenez is in the house. Thanks for dropping by. How many are you going to buy? As far as trees, I'm going to buy 4. And if you're going to get in on it, then there is a limit of 4 trees per transaction. However, overall, there's not a limit on how many transactions you can do. So I think 4 is good for me, and I'll just see where it leads, right? Gathering says, wow, 16 prestige. I'm slacking. Well, and we're sneaking up on the bottom of the hour here, but I just started noticing that how much prestige gives you, and he's started including more stuff in the game around prestige. I mean, it raises all of your stats here, plus it gives you several different other things. My main thing is it lowers the amount of time in between your energy recoup. It lowers the amount of time in between when you can harvest or claim. It also gives you several other things. So I saw the value of that early on, and just like KGM does, I just started dumping all my comp into that. Now I do have a little bit of a backlog of comp, but I try to keep it up above 45. 50 is your max, right? That's why it's greened out. I try to keep it up there because as you start getting up above 11, 12, man, the numbers we're talking are just huge. Look at this. 28,609 experience needed for the next level. And, you're talking, 50 per hour. That's a long time, right? So you have to keep it maxed out if you want to go anywhere. Gabriel says, if I buy 10 trees, is it profitable? I can't speak to that. I do know that I've been hanging out on their boards this week, and like I said, the tree cost does present a good value compared to what the trees are costing currently on the market, like your normal trees. So, like I said, I have not played, but I can say that $25 for a tree is a lot cheaper than what the normal trees they have going on if you wanted to get, start an orchard over there. So we'll see. And the trees, the olive trees, you can get into an olive press, which is another piece of equipment, which is another expensive, but you make olive oil, obviously, but that is a very needed item in the game because people cook. You grow food, you cook food into recipes, and then you can resell that and make a profit, right? So the olive oil is a much needed food because the only other way you can make oil in the game is sunflower oil, which is a very rare crop in and of itself and very expensive if you can find a sunflower for sale. So that's why I'm getting 4. Can't say what it's going to lead to, though. I'll make a video and tell everybody what happened with it and everything. See how it goes. Paul Taylor says, what is the star countdown in one of your tabs? Oh, it's Rising Star. Let's refresh that. Yeah, another one of my games I play. I just play this very lightly. You know, I'm into the second zone, and I play these. I have enough to play these first few missions. I generally use the Saturday headline, which is gathers 300 star bits per go, and just use it because it has a long recycle time, or 350 star bits. I don't make that much off of it. In fact, in this coming video I'm going to do this week, you'll see that I make very little. Of course, I have not put a lot of money into this game too. So that's what Rising Star is. And if once in a while in one of my games you hear this change chatter sound effect, that's what this game is. So Alex T says, I always thought Web 3 should model Web 2, where you have a crypto, which is just like the money token you have in game like Clash of Clans. Yeah, and I think, once again, they got into this and they made up the different cryptocurrencies in the game, and they're doing something nobody else had done, you know. And at this point, there's a lot of other competition, right? And for that matter, a lot of the competition are learning off of what Splinterlands did, right? And did wrong. Make mistakes and you just try to, you know, fix the mistakes, right? Unfortunately, it's just taken a while to try and fix the mistakes. But I would agree. And I like the idea of having one currency that dictates how much of a say you have in the game as far as the votes, SPS, and then another currency. But I think that having 3 currencies in this game is just too much. So Liberty Guy Off Grid. Hey, welcome. New name. Thanks for dropping by. Appreciate you dropping by. He says, good to catch up some of your stream live. Paul Taylor says, you have to complete all quests to earn the chests and dCrops. Only doing a few will not get you anything. That's good information. I did not know that. The problem with me is the fact that that's going to impact my game because I can't afford sweet potato crops. The sweet potatoes and beetroots are very expensive. So that's good to know. We'll see how that goes. But live and learn. Like I said, I've just started playing the game. So Lawrence Blake is in the house. Thanks for dropping by. Hello. Immortal Creed EV's in the house. EV is one of the developer of Immortal Creed, so he's stopping by. Yes, Immortal Creed is, we were talking about your game here a little bit earlier. I'm enjoying learning more about Splinterlands, dCrops, and other games. Been having fun playing Immortal Creed. Still trying to get myself another silver level Immortal going so I can stop using magic so much, but it's been fun, and I will be including, I've been referencing a video I've been working on for this next week where I've been playing multiple games and comparing what I've been earning off of each game compared to what I've investment. Yes, 12:30. Oh wow, the sale went live. So it is 12:30. So let's check over here in dCrops and let's go to the shop. And as far as I knew, it was supposed to be on this page. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to do a little investigation into that because I thought it was going to be on this page. It's not on the boosters page. Oh well. We are getting towards the. I'm overtime a little bit, so I do thank everybody for stopping by. My financial journey says, oof, 86% ego. You need to do some more lessons, man. Yeah, I have been slacking on the lessons lately. The 5-minute missions are way more profitable. Okay. Tree sale is live. International Travel Channel, you got a note on where the trees are being sold? Because I thought it was going to be under the shop. I'm just trying to check here. I know I'm overtime, sorry. But I am not seeing where they are for sale. Oh well. The tree is the Xmas tree event. Okay. Oh, it's under the market. I was wondering what that was because that was a new tree that I had not seen yet. Over under the Christmas event. Okay, so here we go. NFTs left, 815. So let's go in. Let me check. Yeah, I have enough. Let me check. Sorry to take time out for this, but I want to go ahead and why is this not working? Let me refresh. Yeah, for some reason, I'm not able to input anything into... Yeah, I've got my Hive engine. I've got my... Oh, you know what? I don't. Ha ha! You called me on that. You called me on that. Yeah, my fault. My fault. I thought I was prepped, but I was not. Okay, let's refresh. Sorry if this is boring to you. I'm just trying to get this done. Under 800, so 200 have been sold. Okay, I have my order in. I ordered 4, Filson. I've bought 4 olive trees, so just let's go to play and see if we can go ahead and plant them. So let's plant the trees. Oh, 4 of your trees are ready to be harvested, so they can be collected right now. I was expecting to have to wait 24 hours. Yeah, Wibble, I've never re-rolled the quest, so I will have to look at that. I thought you could just do individual quests and just get rewarded from them. I guess not. So I have to look at that. Vilson still got his pack from the other day. Cool. Let's see. Thanks for the stream. Always look forward to the Saturday morning conversation. Okay, well, I have mine planted and I'm collecting my olives. Yes, we went a few minutes over, but I wanted to go ahead and do this. It's looking like more than 200 trees have sold out of 1,000 already. So it may be fair to say that if you want to get in on this, you better go ahead and do it, because who knows, towards the end of the day, it might be sold out. Either way, thanks everybody for dropping by. This has been Bronze Dragon bringing you a Saturday morning stand-up where we talked about a lot of different things. I appreciate your time, and I hope everyone on your side is happy and healthy. We got about 5 inches of snow yesterday, so I'll probably be out shoveling something or other. See you on the flip side.